guys, welcome back to Talking Wolves. We're here for another news and update video. I hope you guys are doing well. Of course, the season is over, but there's so much news coming from Wolves and around the Molineux. Over the next few weeks or so, there's going to be loads of transfer rumours, loads of transfer gossip, which we'll be bringing you and reporting on. But it was the end of season dinner awards last night. Luckily, I was, very lucky to go alongside Matt, who you would have seen on the channel as well. But the club announced a lot of big things at the event yesterday, which are of note and quite big and high profile things that are going to be happening to Wolverhampton Wanderers over the coming months or so. Before we get into that though, make sure you go and check out our channel partners over at OneFootball, a really good football app to help you keep you up to date with your live scores, your live football news. You select Wolves when you first download the app as your favourite club, and you'll get push notifications catered to Wolves and fairly high profile football news. So make sure you check out a link to that in the top of the description down below. But we'll start off with the award winners at the end of season dinner. That is, of course, end of season dinner awards. That's part of what it is, and a lot of them were sort of you could have estimated or guessed it before the event even started. So João Moutinho won player of the season, Diogo Jota's goal against Cardiff won goal of the season, Raul Jimenez won top goal scorer, of course, and players player of the season. Steve Green, who was the fan of the year, Lewis Richards, who got academy player of the year. You've got Emma Cross, who won the Wolves Women Player of the Year. Ruben Vinagre, who wasn't there, he won the Young Professional of the Year. I think that's how they call it. John Ruddy won an award, I think, for the Wolves Foundation Player of the Year. So there were obviously awards, and that was a big part of it. But before the guests started eating their food, they have some big announcements. Last year there was the announcement that Wolves had partnered with Adidas, but this year I half expected a kit announcement, but we never saw that. But we had three fairly high profile announcements for Wolves. The first one being that Wolves are set to open their first Megastore in China. Of course, got the opening of Wolves are in the Asia Trophy, the Asia Premier League Trophy this summer, which is a very, very high profile move for us. Laurie Dalrymple, the CEO of Wolves, during his presentation said how difficult it was for Wolves to get into that, and it was a big part of what they wanted to do, so they were extremely lucky to be in it. There should be pictures on the screen now of what this potential Megastore was like, but I think everyone in the room was sort of, wow, like when we saw this is massive for Wolves, this is very high profile. I think we know as fans that Fosun are not short-sighted. They know what they want, and they don't want to just be massive within Wolverhampton. They want to be massive globally, and they're really helping grow the brand of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And this is going to help it massively. And of course, if this does well, we're going to see these cropping up now in maybe America and so on as well. But I think China is a big area. Asia is a massive area where they want to take advantage of. And football is becoming a more popular sport now there. And, you know, Wolves matches would have been beamed live into China plenty of times last season when we were in the Premier League as well. So that is a big move. Secondly was all about the stadium. So there were artist impressions of what the stadium was going to look like, and again that was another thing that Wolves were, wow, they were very, very nice pictures of Wolves, and it's obviously the dream Molineux, I suppose, as long as everything goes to plan. There were no sort of time frames or anything put on it, but the pictures show a single tier South Bank, revamped Steve Bull and Billy Wright stand as well. But I think this is going to be a long-term project. I know they were talking about the Steve Bull maybe next season or the season after, getting that sorted. But it looks nice. It looks really nice, and I think that's what fans sort of want it to look like. That single-tiered South Bank. And it is filled in the corners, but it still looks like quite a traditional stadium, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look overly contemporary, although inside, you know, it's got that modern feel. I think it's still got that traditional feel of a football ground. So that's something definitely that I like the look of, and it's a very nice looking plan. Fingers crossed it all goes ahead okay. And the final big announcement was that Wolves will be the first club in England, I believe, to introduce rail seats to a complete stand. So the whole of the Sir Jack Hayward stand, also known as the South Bank, from next season onwards will have completely rail seats This is one step closer to the safe standing that the Wolves have been trying to push over the last year or so. I believe teams such as Tottenham and Shrewsbury have got something similar with this rail standing, but not obviously a complete stand like Wolves are doing. So this is going to be a massive step. Wolves could be really sort of the pioneers of this now. I think a lot of clubs will be looking towards Wolves and the South Bank, and if this goes well, I think in the next year or two there are going to be a lot of clubs jumping on this bandwagon. But as I say, it's going to be ready in time for next season. They're going to be doing the work on it this summer, and the club are saying it's an innovative and a progressive move. The club have definitely been pushing for this for a while. I can remember sort of last season they were talking about it as well. Safe standing is not allowed in the top 2 tiers of English football, but I think this sort of rail seating is of course being approved. Apparently there's a survey with season ticket holders of the South Bank, and 97% were in favour of this type of thing. There would have been a survey that got sent out. It's already been approved by the authorities, so it's more or less good to go for next season. I've seen a lot of people, I mean, I'm definitely in favour of it. I am a season ticket holder in the South Bank, and of course everyone is stood up. The majority of people are stood up for 90 minutes. People, you know, when there are goals, people go everywhere, but I think having these rails, there is the argument that obviously you could hurt yourself on the rails, but it's a lot better to have that there than people tumbling down 2 or 3 flights of seating or stairs, which you don't see a lot of, but you never know, it can happen. So I'm definitely in favour for it. I know there have been a few moans about people that want to sit down, but I don't think you ever see, unless it's half time, you don't see anyone sitting down and the rails getting in the way. The only time you see people sat down is before the game or at half time, so not during the football. So definitely in favour for it. But guys, let me know your thoughts on everything that Wolves have brought today. The Megastore, as I say, is a big move for Wolves as a corporate side of things. Molineux looks fantastic. Really hope that we can go for that and see what it looks like. And of course, safe standing, this rail seat, a massive step forward for Wolves as a club, and they could push a lot of Premier League clubs to do it. Wolves could definitely be the pioneers of that. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. We'll have some more news updates very soon. But I'll see you all extremely soon. Bye bye.